Someone brought this to my attention. This story comes to us from BaltimoreSun.com. Almost 20 years ago, the Baltimore Police Department was so concerned about the possibility of Officer Edward Gorwell beating an administrative hearing and returning to the streets that it struck an unusual deal. Gorwell had shot and killed a teenager in 1993 and was charged with manslaughter. Years went by as the case wound through the court system and was dropped eventually by prosecutors in 1999. In 2002, fearing Gorwell might prevail in an administrative hearing, the department agreed to let him stay on the force at an officer's salary and eligible for a pension, but without police powers and a gun. The agreement held until earlier this month. The Inspector General's office said in a report released Wednesday that it received a tip complaining about the arrangement, investigated and determined Gorwell's permanent suspension of his police powers made him eligible to be fired because he was unable to carry out his duties. Gorwell could not be reached for comment. His union attorney, Michael Davey, said he had been working in the department's building and construction unit and retired after Police Commissioner Michael Harrison said he concurred with the IG's analysis and would move to fire Gorwell. Attorney Sean Malone was head of the police department's legal affairs at the time the deal with Gorwell was struck and said Wednesday that the agreement was a compromise. He said his recollection was that Gorwell was to retire after he reached 20 years with the department. Sean Malone said the mistake that was made was in letting him work another 10 years. And it goes down. There's more to it if you want to click the link below. Now, what I had to do, if you click the link below and it comes up in your browser, hit the little X and stop it from loading when the story loads. The reason you do that is if you let it continue loading, it's going to flip over to sign in with your Baltimore Sun subscription account or pay for, whatever subscription. But if you click the X, it stops right there and the story's right there. It's a little trick on the internet until they fix that. I had to load it twice just to get it to stop on the story. But anyway, so I'm just saying that for any of you that click the link, make sure to stop it while it's loading so you can read the story and not get that little, hey, you want to subscribe to read this story? I digress. So, but it goes down. There's more to the story that I didn't give you, but I gave you the meat of it, of what this is. Was a guy who apparently was to be terminated, and apparently the police department thought, well, you know what, if we terminate this guy, he could come back and beat it and sue us, and it could be whatever. But what's funny is they said it would have been a justifiable termination. That's from the union guy. But instead they said, okay, you know what, we'll take your police powers. You can work over here in the construction unit and just keep your police pay until you retire. Okay, buddy. And then they let him work for an extra 10 years, collecting police pay. So what, the police officers probably get paid more than the construction guys, I would imagine. That's just mind-boggling. That's mind-boggling because you know that a non-law enforcement worker would have had to retire or resign. He'd have been, you got to go. But when you're a cop, cops don't want to. He's such a good guy. I worked with him on the street. And so I don't know why these cops are getting this fair treatment. A lot of people say it's the thin blue line. It's the gang line. Shoulder to shoulder we stand, It just seems to me that over and over we're seeing law enforcement officers do bad stuff, or they warrant termination and they get some type of, special treatment. Some type of, I don't know, I was trying to think of a good word. Grace, mercy, I don't know. But it's just mind-boggling to me, how a cop can shoot somebody and get, 10-year sentence Where if somebody that's not a law enforcement officer commits that very crime in a very similar circumstance, that person gets 20 to life. I don't get that. People are saying, well, it's a mitigating circumstance that it happened in the line of duty. Okay, so if a gas station attendant gets pissed off because the guy's flipping him off and cussing him and he squirts gas in the guy's face, is that, well, it was in the line of duty. Thought he was defending himself. I don't know. That was bad. You let me know what you think about this.